Hi everyone, this is Steve. Welcome back to Scale Model Kit Review. I'm super excited to receive the latest issue from Eaglemoss Hero Collector Diecast Club, and that is the Ghostbusters Ecto-1. Super excited to receive issue 1 and issue 2 in the mail. Also, we'll be looking at the introductory program that comes along with this. This kit is huge. It's 31.5 inches long and definitely going to stand out amongst the rest of the diecast club that's out there. 1/8 scale, opening, closing door and trunk, rolling wheels, tail lights, headlights, enforcement lights, you name it. It's going to have a lot of features built into it. I know I'm not the only one out there building it. I'm a little behind everybody else, but with that, I'm super excited to show you this for all my subscribers here in the US. With that, let's get started. Welcome back. Here's the introductory pamphlet. We'll look through it here real quick. This kit is full of all kinds of features, obviously. Like I was saying, it's 31.5 inches long. It's going to be huge. And they're giving us a both side view here to look at. And then they get more into the features right here. They tell us it's a faithful replica, incredible detail, 1/8 scale. Headlights and parking lamps come on and off, tail lights, brake lights. The rear workstation, freestanding stretcher, replica Cadillac engine, siren emergency lights, PKE detection array, replica hubs and tires, driver's cab, and winding windows. Simple instructions to follow as we go through this build. I think there's about 141 stages, something like that. I may be wrong. And of course the magazine itself gives us the inside story on the Ghostbuster. And then they give us a preview of what's coming up in issue 2. Very nice graphic there. Before we look at issue 1 magazine, let's look at the free poster they gave us. I showed it to you earlier. It's a lifelike view of the car. And when you open it up here, obviously it's too big to fit the screen here, but we can see we get a front half. There it is. We get the front half here to look at. Very nice. And then we get the back section to look at. 251.5 millimeters wide. Here's issue 1 magazine. Build the iconic Ecto-1 car from Ghostbusters. And as we open it up, right away the table of contents shows us what's in the magazine. Instructions first, then Dan Aykroyd interview, then the Wallower, then Ecto 101. And if you haven't already subscribed to this, I put a link in the description below, and that will head you right over to Eaglemoss, and they'll be more than happy to help you out and with getting your subscription started. Like I said, a listing of all the parts over here, and then they get into the build itself. We actually start installing parts on the hood. Then we have a very cool article on Dan Aykroyd, the original Ghostbuster. Should be a very good read. 6 pages of that. And then an article called The Wallower. And then lastly, Ecto 101, a weekly list of all things that make Ghostbusters great. Then of course, like we saw before, they give us a preview of what's coming up in issue 2. So let me get the parts out, we'll get a close look, and we'll get this baby built. Be right back. Here's a blister pack of issue 1. And you can see they give us the hood right away, some of the trim for the hood, the louvers, license plate, and a screwdriver. So I'll go ahead and pull this out and we'll get a closer look. I'll be right back. Here's a close-up of the parts. Of course, we got the hood, and that's made out of solid metal. We'll get a closer look at that here in a second. We get the exterior rim. We get the interior hood rim. We get, of course, the license plate, the Ecto-1 license plate. We get air inlet 1, air inlet number 2. We get a screwdriver. And we also get BM screws and AM screws. Let's look at the hood here a little closer. And very nice finish there. You can see it has the Cadillac logo on it. A lot of these cars were used as hearses back in the day. Underside is painted flat black. You can see we have a lot of things we'll be attaching to it as we go along with the build here. Very impressive there. The exterior hood rim is also made of metal, painted to match. The chrome trim itself is plastic. Very nice there. The license plate itself looks like it's made out of metal. Represents the Ecto-1 license plate. The hood louvers themselves are plastic. Very nice there. They did give us a decal, so that was on the blister pack. Be sure you cut it out and save it for later on. And then they gave us a screwdriver. It is kind of small, but you can still use it and use it safely. I'll show you how to use it safely here in a little bit. I'll be right back and we'll get started with the build. Now we begin. We begin with stage 1. And they want us to install these hood louvers onto the hood. Now, I'm well aware that there are mods for this, modifications you can purchase online to improve this if you'd like. And they're by Mike Lane Mods. And I'll go ahead and put a link below. I know that he's already been tagging my videos, my series here in the US with his products. He's based out of the UK. And I'm very much interested in those. So Mike, if you're watching and listening, I'm very interested in your mods. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and start assembling this. Now, these louvers only go on one way. If you take a look here, you can see that we have one set of louvers goes right here, the other set goes right here. Now we have an alignment hole in the middle on this one, and the alignment hole in the other one's on the side. So they're only going to be able to go on one way. So that's what you do. You just simply take and put them down, just like that. Now, I'm worried about the screwdriver going off and scratching the paintwork. So the best thing you can do to prevent that is go ahead and get yourself some tape. And this is a good old trustworthy Tamiya tape, and also this holder I have for the tape I picked up off of Amazon. And I'll put a link in my Amazon store so you can find it yourself, and you can purchase it also along with the Tamiya tape. So there's different sizes of Tamiya tape that you can use for this. So in this case, I'm going to use a medium size tape. I can't remember what size they call out on it, but I'm going to tape around the louvers just to kind of show you how that works, so we can protect that area in case my screwdriver slips off. Okay, so there's one. It doesn't have to be precise, just to be there to protect. And I'm going to do the same with the other one, and I'll be right back. And there you go. I have it all taped off, and that's just my little life insurance here, so that if my screwdriver slips off while I'm putting these screws in, I'm not going to do any damage to the paint. So before we screw these in, these screws are going into metal, so what I want to do is go ahead and get them ready for the screws, and I like to lubricate the holes with some Vaseline. This is Vaseline lip balm, but it works just the same as anything else. I've been doing this with all my Eaglemoss builds. It just makes the screws go in a lot easier. And won't be struggling with the screws. If the screws are soft, prevent you from stripping them out. Also could prevent you from breaking them. I noticed some other builders out there, they were putting screws in without lubricating, and that's fine, but like I said, you do run the risk of stripping the head out or even breaking the screw if it gives you any difficulty going into the metal. Okay, then we'll put our louver back on. And we'll put our first AM screw in. Try to go straight down with it. Going in really easy. So I'm not having to do any pressure to get them in. I'll get the rest of these in and I'll be right back. And there you go, all the screws are in. Didn't have any problems at all, and my screwdriver never slipped off. So, but to me it was worth it using the tape to protect it in case the screwdriver does slide off. We'll go ahead and pull the tape out of the way. And that's all we do with stage 1. So I'll be right back with stage 2. Alright, for stage 2, we go ahead and install the two hood rims together, the outer and the inner together, and we're going to use BM screws for that. Now, the BM, M meaning metal, we're going to be going into metal. So like we did before, we want to go ahead and lubricate these holes to get our screws to go in easier. Just put a little Vaseline on there, a little bit of grease. The grease will actually protect the screw in the long run. So if you have any dissimilar metals, it shouldn't corrode as fast, being there's some protection with the petroleum-based product there. And what we simply do is we take and line up the holes on this, just like that. And we will be putting our BM screws in. Our screwdriver is magnetized. And we just need to put 4 in. Super excited to get to build this for you. You guys usually spot the mistakes before I do, and that really helps, so thank you for that. So all 4 screws are in, and that's what it looks like, our little chrome trim on there. And that's all we do for issue 1. We installed the hood louvers on the Cadillac hood, and I think it looks pretty good. Used a little safety when we did that so we don't scratch the paint. We also installed the front and external and interior hood rims. And all we have left over is the Ecto license plate and the decal with the screwdriver. So stay tuned for issue 2. If you don't subscribe to my channel, please subscribe. I appreciate every one of you who do subscribe already. Please hit the like, hit the bell for all notices. And if you want to subscribe to this, I would do it. This is an awesome kit. It's going to be huge. It's going to be very impressive on your mantle or anywhere you want to display it, in your hobby room, in your office, at school. Hey, you know, this is going to be easy to build after work, after class, on the weekends, whatever you'd like to do. So please subscribe. I put a link in the description below, and it'll take you right over there where you can build this. So with that, happy modeling everybody, and take care.